I know. They were so bad. If they don't improve, I mean, we're gonna need to kick them from the ally for sure. Yeah, yeah. I know. All right, yeah. Send me some news later. All right, bye. Ladies and gentlemen, that was your ally mate, and apparently, we need to talk.
We're worried about you, dude.
We are worried that you're absolutely clueless when it comes to PvP. You're making us look bad. You know when you see my face, I'm serious. In today's episode, we're going to be going over 11 tips, tactics, and strategies to elevate your team's PvP competitiveness. And we're going to dissect some PvP footage to show you how you can implement them in certain scenarios. Let's roll. Number 11, know your role. With this and Thor's fight, you can see me here on Ghost Sentinel. If I rush into the front line and die, or I rush in front and get cancelled, I'm worthless. So, I keep my beautiful Tushy in the back. Well, I didn't do such a great job of that here. I got attacked, but I didn't get cancelled. I accomplished my mission, and at the end of the day, that's what matters. Too many times, a particular team, ally, CP, PvP group, they'll lose because everyone in the party ally doesn't know their role. I.S.R. That's intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance. Intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance functions are the principal elements of developing informed offensive and defensive strategies to maximize your side's strategic advantage and capabilities. I.S.R. includes a wide variety of systems for acquiring and processing information needed by your team's decision makers and PvP leaders. That was a bit of a mouthful, but you get what I'm saying. Spy on your fucking enemies. It's not hard. I.S.R. systems can range from boxes or spies in strategic locations like gatekeepers and staging spots, teleport spots, where you can be also using programs like bots, radar, or customized game files that include wall hack, wireframes. These things are typically forbidden on no service gameplays rules, but they're there. It goes without saying that the side that best utilizes I.S.R. has a major advantage. If the server allows 3 boxes, I'll put 3 boxes up. If the server's unlimited, I probably have like 9 boxes, 10 boxes up, until my PC melts down. Number 9 is that you have to have a strategy. There are 7 classical maneuvers of war. Okay, and crash. But the 7 maneuvers are the penetration of the center. You've got number 6, envelopment of a single flank. Number 5, envelopment of both flanks. Number 4, attack in an oblique order. You got number 3, you feigned retreat. You've got number 2, attacking offensively from a defensive position. And then you've got the indirect approach. Your strategy has to be more than just push. Here we're rushing our enemies at Ant Queen. We're pushing and rushing enemies who are in a much better defensive position than our side is. Normally, enemies meet you with a mix of CC classes like Warlords and Overlords right here on the ramp. You've got AoE nukers at the ramp as well, trying to rush you, and as you're trying to rush them, a good leader will have done his I.S.R. functions to have an idea of how the enemies are going to meet you. And although we are pushing here, most groups, they want to rush straight up the ramp to the right, but this is a mistake. The first thing you need to do is to push up and overrun the left flank. Once you've cleaned that out, you're able to pick off those exposed enemies who are still focusing on the ramp and are out of position. Oh, they got me for picking on their healer. Well, at least we got the healer. So now that we did that, they didn't like that very much. We're going to be able to finish off their party here, kill Hinstridge and move on. Don't hit him too hard because he's also got +6 IC on there. I realize now after watching this that they just threw right back up, and I was like, yeah, who cares? I'm just going to pick off these other free frags. Don't give a shit about the other side's strongest party. Those guys right there are still focused down on that ramp that we originally ran up. So they don't even see where this is coming from, and all of a sudden I've hit them for 3K and 4K and 6K, and they just rip. But this is probably the most fun part of the fight when you're just sitting there trying to pick off as much frags as you can. I mean, we're not even assisting anymore at this point. I mean, it's just, oh, let me get this one, +1, +1, +2, +3. Oh, come on. But, here I don't even do a very good job of it. I mean, I barely get frags here, whatever. And even though now we have the major advantage, you can't let up. I mean, you have to always be closing, 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 closing. That's a free one for you. That's not included in our list. But it only is going to take one mass res for them to come, just stand right back up. We've got to start this party all over again. However, the great thing about winning is that now we have to defend our position. We've got this great brand new defensive position that we just conquered, so now we can start to do the next thing on our list, and that's attacking from a defensive position. Here, I'm trying to prevent the enemy's BD and Swiss on the other side that they just had there in that previous fight from getting summoned, so we can just have a little bit of a strategic advantage right there. I mean, if the enemy party doesn't have, any disco, but now we've got them coming towards us, and you can see that they're getting kind of aggressive. We're not gonna, stack up on that ramp and let them AoE us right there, but we're doing almost a little bit of a feigned retreat. You see, we kind of fell back like we weren't ready for them to push us, which then gave them a little bit more confidence. And then we can kind of come in with a small little counter push and kind of, pick off all those, kind of people who got just a little bit overextended. Now you can see our reserve forces, Vayne, are coming in to engage that hero mage party with ESs, the hero sorcerer and Iskander, Mystic Muse, Aiken on Mystic Muse, and we got that CC party with the Witch King and Warlords going in. It's coming together. And they just come in, they do their job, aura flashing and blazing circles, and just, make sure we're clearing that spot out. And all of a sudden they get wiped. They can't rush up to that left side and try to do exactly what we did to them. So then we've got, disadvantage going on here because we've got some of those dead people right there. Now, when you want to push your enemies by targeting the healers. If you're the main party in front, tanking for your ally, by pushing back the healers, it lets everyone behind you, even those extremely weak parties, to then wipe all of the DDs and the supports that didn't retreat with their healers. Because of the cooldown on resurrection, it's gonna eventually reach a tipping point once you've killed like 3 to 4 of those enemies in the enemy party. Then the bishop just becomes tempted to use mass resurrection, and if you can bait the enemy healers into using it prematurely, you just create an advantage for your side, increasing your odds of victory. But because we're attacking from a defensive position, you can see here where I do not really want to give up my defensive position. I'm not really ready to fully, chase them all the way down. I want to stay here so that my backside is protected. We got to make sure that these people right here, don't stand up and noblesse and buff themselves just because we all run past them like blind idiots. So then we can see here, we can use the structure on the right, and we just, can mow them down as we get these healers and continue to let them burn through those mass resurrections, keep enemies from being able to rebuff themselves, and we're Gucci, baby. Gucci gang, easy babaya. But you can see that, here, obviously I'm the main assist. I'm not getting very many frags. It's okay. I think Peak was like plus fucking 60. Like he killed all of their parties in one. Cookie, I don't even know. I really, really haven't paid attention. Oh, there Cookie is right out there in front. Definitely not assisting anybody. Well, what's new? The sixth tactic that you're going to be able to use to step up your game is to split up your forces. You can attack from both sides. This would be a double envelopment, a double flank envelopment, or, it's the coveted pincer maneuver. It's, so difficult to pull off. For example, this could be attacking from both sides at Biome Vortex when you've got on the steps, one coming up from the left, one coming up from the right. I had such a great video of this. I had the perfect footage for number 6, the fucking perfect footage for number 6, and I was experimenting with a new shortcut to start and stop recordings. I did not realize until after the PvPs that the stop recording button was the same as my global voice on TeamSpeak. So it ended up being no bueno. I've got nothing of it. I mean, we lost. I think, the enemies already had the center point at Teza, and we had to go and push them. And I think I tried 3 different tactics of pushing them before I split up my forces. And I was like, all right, Benny and the rest of whatever the hell that other shit clan was that was on our ally. I said, you guys are gonna go to the right. Oh, it was Messiahs. I said, Messiahs and Benny, you're gonna go to the right. Saints and others, we're gonna go to the left. Okay, and then we just freaking dominated them, flanked both sides, wrapped around, and just met in the middle and just annihilated them. It was magical. And then I don't even have it on video with the facepalm. Number 5 is that you need to use structure. Okay, but hiding behind pillars of Tesla is just neutralized those sniped archers over there that were in the middle of the room. So we can come back here, we can turn around, we can pick off their strongest nuker party, neutralize that. All of a sudden they're down a nuker group with heroes and wild magic augments and Valakis epics, and then we can kind of clear out the people who are in the middle of us, and then we just wrap around and envelop them. Easy peasy.
Okay, Earth.
Stormy Daniels, my target. Yeah, dead.
Nor, or hate me, my target, Bishop.
Auto 16 moves.
Instridge.
Okay.
It's fun to hear Peak and I both be like, no,
Parabanks.
you assist me. No, motherfucker, you
That-
assist me.
Mia Khalifa.
Oh, mage party here. Mage party, guys. You see them?
Hair nice, my target. Hair nice, go. Hair nice.
Behind.
Dead. Soul guard, my target. Soul guard.
Prominence, no, the nukers.
Coming back
Prominence.
from disco.
Okay.
Ron is dead. Hernage.
Disco.
Herd. Yeah. Let me bring this.
Jessa Rhodes.
Someone should
Stormy
kill
Daniels.
this.
Stormy Daniels. Mana burn. Kill.
Made the Masters.
Riley
Bronio.
Reed.
Bronio.
Bronio, my target. Dead. Mia Khalifa. Gitsu.
Gitu.
Yeah, the gating.
Jesse.
Hate me.
Hate
My
me.
target. Hate me.
Hate me. Go. Mercury.
El Sajin. My target. El
Ara.
Sajin.
Let me bring this cat.
Should kill these summoners near to NPC.
You need to be using proper spacing in each individual scenario. Every individual is going to require different spacing. Are you kiting, falling back? Are you rushing and wanting to close space? Trying to get in an AoE with your mage classes and your mage parties. So you have to be able to judge that. You can see here in this Ant Queen fight how we're the small side with maybe 2.5 parties. If we tried to attack both of these sides head on, we would lose every time. If we can't get either of these sides to engage each other, then we're going to lose too. So the whole point is to get them to fight each other. And if we use all the spacing available to us, like you see how we're doing there down here at Ant Queen, we're going to be able to get our enemies to fight each other for us, which enables us to dominate them and just kind of sit there and annoy the shit out of them. And they can't kill us. Are we two parties? We just keep moving. But you can see how we go and we run around there trying to get around and behind the enemies, and they don't follow us, and then they kind of turn towards each other, and then we come right in behind you and cut off your escape route. Next up on our list is going to be a big one, and this clip we've got coming up right here. It's a fun one. You can see where you have to be utilizing all the features that are available to you, like party gate. We've got multiple gators here on this server. We've got 5 different war cries. I've got one by the vortex right now. You can see I'm ready to go for M criticals. After that main force engages, we're going to gate ourselves. I had to alt tab to do that. Make sure you're allowed to have 3 boxes here on this server. So I had one of those boxes as a war cry that I could alt tab to and just, hello, I'm here, Aura Flash, you're dead, bye bye, see ya. Pay attention here. I know it's a long video. I've been droning on. You focus in on this. This is the knowledge bomb here. This is how you can regroup your entire ally to a new location in 60 seconds or less. You can see, honestly, by my play, how stoned I got almost immediately after I got home from work, right before I logged. Even though I'm almost useless at the beginning of this PvP, you can see how it really doesn't matter because of the tactics that our side uses collectively against our enemies. You can see why I died there after getting a little overextended. But what we're doing is we're using our geography here to protect our flanks against our numerically superior enemies. This meant that the enemy team could only come at us with a direct frontal approach. In order to flank us at this location, the enemies would have had to run around geodata outside, all these obstacles for like 10 minutes that had come from Windowwood Manor teleport spot. They can flank us on the sides on the right here or the left because we have enough space to continuously fall back. We were able to hold them off for quite a bit here, but you can see that I ended up getting overextended like I did. I get canceled and die. Now you get to watch us get wrecked. At least I think. I mean, maybe it looks like we might have PR'd or just kept running back. I go to castle, so I don't really see and I can't remember. But the next part of this clip is my personal favorite. Notice how far away from the teleport spot that we were able to drag away their main force. Now they're just going to turn around and start running towards Ant Nest. It's in window. The window's already started. And unfortunately for them, their main force is now stretched across the entire wasteland. C4, I'll lead it right here, recognizes this and gives a command for everyone to attack the castle. Which brings us now to, the hugest thing on our list is Clan Gate. All too often, a team loses because it takes their side 45 minutes to move to a new location to regroup. Right here, it took us 60 seconds from the time that I tapped to town, clicked on that guy, and said, hey, I need to teleport out of this castle room. It took us 60 seconds to get our entire force and group back down there to Ant's Nest. We didn't have to hear any, oh my god, my work requires not noblesse. I need you to summon me. Okay, guys, so I'll PM all of your work requires to so-and-so. We're going to have to summon everybody. And then, it's a 15-minute process. The enemies, all their hero skills are refreshed, and you've just kind of screwed yourself. So, now we get back here. We're going to run down there. And the thing with this is that the enemies thought they had wiped us right there outside of the Ant's Nest, which they did, but you can see how dumb their leaders are. This is primarily why we just call them just half that force the Green Crest, because they don't even deserve to be named. And after we got rolled, you can see where we were able to roll them back because they didn't utilize any I.S.R systems. It resulted in them being completely unprepared for our attack. You can see here, once we're about to engage, that I haven't even noticed yet that I didn't switch back to my Arcana Mace after using Active Power. I also think during this fight I run out of MP potions. I definitely run out of Spirit Ore in this fight. I just logged late and joined them after the window started. And I immediately teleported to Ant's Nest because they were doing that PvP over there around the teleport spot. And I didn't check any of the character supplies or any of the gear. I think I'm missing a few pieces of jewelry during this PvP fight too. It doesn't matter. We got the Ant Queen ring, baby. And when they kind of regroup and push us after we just came in and wiped them here because they were just solely unprepared for us. You can see where we want to use bubbles to steal their songs and dances, which just ruins their plans. Now they're kind of regrouping right back up there, up the top of the lamp. At the top of the ramp, you can see that, yeah, oh, okay, I was only missing one jewelry. I did run out of Spirit Ore. There's something that's very uncommon here is the fact that I'm not stacked with epic jewelry. C4, I blame you for this, okay? But they regroup here, they use a little foy. We start throwing some bubbles on them. As soon as they use those skills and foy's gone, you can see where now they've just, they're just bodies. They lost their songs and dances. We still had them. They get a mass res, it doesn't really matter. It's gonna, it will bug. A few of them are gonna get that mass res, and now some of them will die without the noblesse and become useless. It's just these things end up reaching a tipping point to create that huge advantage for us. It's all the little things that you're doing constantly. The numbers don't matter if they don't have buffs. Those bodies can stand up as many times as they want to. I'm going to press R flash 3 times and they're all dead. And you can see where just with my casting speed, I pretty much have 0 reuse on that R flash. Just constantly boom, bing, bang, boom, 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 boom. They just keep standing up and dying instantly to me mashing R flash. I'm gonna rush over here soon to a new spot there on the left. Press R, flash a few more times. I think we throw a quick bubble and GG boys. I definitely run out of Spirit Ore like right here. I think I'm like, oh God, what do I do? But it's okay. You see that we sit there. We use Clean Gate to get back down here. We caught them completely unprepared. They weren't doing several things on this list. They weren't utilizing any of their I.S.R systems. We were able to come in, utilize bubbles, able to utilize the Clean Gate to regroup so fast. And it ended up just being a win for us. Easy, baby. Easy papaya. Yeah, I mean, I remember after this fight, the drama this caused. I think the enemy side accused us of just having boxed bot parties down at the heart here of Ants Nest. It blew their mind how quickly we regrouped because we were down there before they were even able to get down here, and they were the last ones to win the fight. But you know, they ran, we teleported. And you're gonna win that every time. So. Just remember that these tools are there. Make sure you're using them, testing them on your server, because you know there might be bugs, there might be other things, there might be tweaks, changes. Like some of the bubbles that we just used on a lot of servers are going to be 3 charges. Some servers it's going to be different. It's going to be 2 charges. You want to make sure that you're beta testing all this. You always have to be testing. You have to figure out what's OP, what's broken, what you're going to be able to use to your advantage, because it's all about creating that advantage for your team. Bubbles are one of the strongest skills you can use in the game, especially up to interlude, which is, I mainly play interlude, so I don't go past that. So my knowledge on that is not great. Um, but you make sure that you're finishing your characters. All too many times people get to 78, 79, like, oh, we're done. We got Magnus. I got the vortexes. No, you need to be making sure you get to 80. You can use all of the bubbles, which creates an entire new dimension to your game. Raging Waves, Volcano, and there's some of the most broken skills. Demon Wind is fantastic, especially for killing Balakis here. On this server, we had a mass cleanse from a bishop, which was great. And you have to be using these. I mean, we're using bubbles a million times a PvP. I think you can see that from some of those fights like we just watched at Ant Queen and here. We have characters on box specifically just for charges and for dropping these bubbles that we can alt tab to and have them run. This is we're able to do this. The server was a bit higher rate, but you know you put the time in and grind on those low rate servers, you're going to be able to do this as well. And it's just so important, and too many times people don't utilize this, but it instantly changes PvP when you can drop a bubble onto a teleport spot or in through an archway at TESA. I mean, you can see just the damage that it did to our enemies right here on this deck server. The window's already started. Balakis is actually already up. Enemies don't have any characters near to the heart. They don't know this. C4 knows this. He's got the timer going. Our strategy now here, camp them, don't let them get up. We've stolen their buffs. They're missing noblesse. And then as soon as that timer gets low enough, it's a mad dash, right? We're trying to time this perfectly so that way that we're able to get in and don't let them get in. It's a very high risk play. Obviously, you can think of the consequences of failing Balakis if some of your parties don't manage to get in, if you're missing certain classes. So it takes balls of steel to do this. But when done, you can tell it's just a very high reward. You just get to waltz right in, and hey guys, let's go kill Balakis. You don't have to sit there and PvP for it because you've already won those PvPs down there. They are going to stand up behind us almost instantly the second they see us take off, and they're going to start to chase us a bit. So we move through, easy, 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 and just continue our run up there to the heart of Velakis. Back there at the top of that ramp is a really great PvP spot, by the way. If you got good Warlord CC parties, you put one on the left, one on the right, and just R flash right there. Money, baby. Money, money. As you can see, as we're running through here, that slow out little dwarf, I start getting towards the back, and that is due to the fact that I want to protect my ally mates a little, but also I'm just, clicking and going, and it's kind of random. We're running here, trying to make sure we're staying as a group, though, as best we can to protect us, because if people start getting left behind, then they start dying. We made the decision here due to the buff book that we have that we want everyone to be running on Magnus. They give us that little speed boost. We're not PvPing, so no need to run on COV. While killing your enemies is useful, the proper use of a bubble may also cause your enemies to stop their movement in reaction. It's going to alter the strategy now. They're going to have to discuss options via voice chat, etc. These things take time, so it can create that massive advantage for your team if used properly, like it just did. I slowed them down with that raging waves, just enough to make sure that we were the last ones to get in, and they weren't able to get in. Now, I kind of shot myself in the foot there because Stigmat res me, and I got in, but we just lost our EE, and now we have to kill Valakis without him. Although here, EE doesn't really matter. We've got mana pots, so that's a wash. Anyways, I'd rather lose the EE, prevent them from entering, than to have the EE. We go down there, we kill Anthrax. It's easy. We move on. We laugh. I think I got a good cackle out of this. Just laughed, and then I think it just had like 15 whiskey shots. Remember that there's more than just nuker bubbles. We've got a quick little archer bubble we're using down at the bottom of this ramp here at an Ant Queen fight, just to get us a bit more range so we can shoot back up there and kill those green crests with a few one-shotted and double-ringed archers. We use bubbles here at Seiken ship. We want to drop them there on that door. We know that the enemy team is congregating right there due to our I.S.R. So we get some charges and we come in. We drop that one bubble right there. Paulie C4 and some of the other parties start throwing some bubbles there, and I just kind of walk in and start aura flashing. And then we're going to hit you with one of Iska's good bubbles that he used as a castle siege. But the last thing on my list is that you have to be comfortable making changes. If one of the groups on your side continues to make the same mistakes over and over again, kick them. If your side becomes a Zerg 4 times the size of your enemies, even it out. Dark Elmore Interlude X16 was probably one of the best servers I've played on, just because the leaders didn't treat allies like it was a marriage pact. Some days it was us versus BlackRock versus Unigroup, other days it was BlackRock and Unigroup versus us, and some days it was us and BlackRock versus Unigroup. We were kicking and recruiting new CPs on an almost daily basis, and this just led to a balanced server, good fun, and by balance I mean we wrecked them all continuously for months on end. But it just means that we didn't, even though we were the strongest side and the strongest group, we didn't really overdo it too much, and it led to a great fun server. That's gonna be it for today, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed this video. The truth is that winning in Lineage 2 isn't hard. This video was mainly geared towards Interlude Chronicle. However, you can apply a lot of these strategies, tips, and tactics to other Chronicles. Don't complicate things. Keep it simple. Have fun. Learn from your mistakes. Remember, guys, this isn't a definitive list or an all-inclusive list. There's a lot of things here I didn't cover. If there's something you'd like to see me cover in a new video, just drop a comment below. Maybe we can get to it. Hopefully, this video helped you become a little bit more awesome.